Lindsay, drinking some soda this morning?
Not quite yet, but maybe here in a little bit. We're live this morning at Pepsi to kick off Manufacturing Week. We're going to talk a little bit about what they do here on North 12th Street coming up next.
With a population of 40,000, Quincy is the largest city in a 100-mile radius.
It's also the commercial hub for about 600,000 people in western Illinois, southeast Missouri, and southeast Iowa.
Northeast Missouri. This
Missouri.
week, well, that's where I hail from. That's why I know that. This week, we're learning about 5 of these places in town that so many of you work for. KHQA's Lindsay Boach joins us now to kick off Manufacturing Week. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, guys. Yes, we are live this morning at Pepsi on North 12th Street. You may know it by the huge Pepsi sign and the lighted clock that's outside, more visible at night, obviously. But maybe you don't know what goes on here. Right now I'm joined by Randy Boyer, who is the marketing manager here. What do you guys do here at this plant?
Well, Refreshment Services Pepsi here in Quincy, we are a distribution center. We distribute Pepsi products, Pepsi brands. We also have the Dr. Pepper brand lineup. And here lately we have gone and expanded into the coffee, which is Harvest Ridge and roasted bean coffees. We also now have the Smoky Bones meat sticks and beef jerky.
Which I'm going to grab here. I found some right here, sitting here. Now, how did you guys start getting into this kind of stuff?
This is something that we actually had been developing for quite a while. We had many of our customers that just wanted it as a good fit to go along with the Pepsi products. And we took our time. It is locally produced. The name we developed ourselves, and it's going very, very well.
And now you guys have a lot of brands here. When you think of Pepsi, you think of maybe just the soda or pop, depending on where you're from in the country. But you guys have a lot more than just Pepsi.
That's correct. I mean, over the years, the expansion into the new brands of juices and water, and then you got your isotonics, which is your Gatorades and drinks like that. It's just expanded over the years. That's just what we have to do. And packages too.
Explain a little bit about the history of this Pepsi plant here in Quincy.
Well, the history of Pepsi in Quincy dates back to 1927 when Oscar Weiss actually opened the first Pepsi bottling company down on Main Street, 10th and Main. In 1960, the company moved to this location and was a full production line. Matter of fact, it was the first can line in the United States and covered, they actually distributed to over 14 states. The Vecchi family has history like that too over in Taylorville, Illinois. They actually had their Pepsi franchise and bought Quincy in 1976.
And then in the 90s, mid-90s, you guys joined with Westpac.
Yeah, we were a production plant up until 1995, and in 1997, we had the opportunity to help promote Westpac to come to Quincy, and we're very happy that they did decide to open up a production facility here.
Do you think that that has impacted any part of the economy here in Quincy with Westpac opening?
Oh, absolutely. There's over 160 employees at Westpac, and then we employ here full and part-time 125.
All right, thank you very much, Randy. We're not done with you yet. We have plenty more to learn about Pepsi, and we have a lot more coming up throughout this week. We still have 4 more places that we're going to be visiting this week, too, for Manufacturing Week.
When I was younger, I had a soda can collection that my parents probably still despise me for because
You wouldn't open them, though, right?
I wouldn't open them, but someone would pop and leak on the walls of the house and into the carpet and stuff. But when Mark panned there and showed all those old cans, I was like, oh my gosh, I used to have every one of those.
We did the same thing. But it's funny, my dad calls everything Pepsi. Like, he calls even, you know, go get me a Pepsi. You mean Mountain Dew? No, I mean, go get me a Pepsi. No, it's a Mountain Dew. Yeah, he calls everything Pepsi instead of soda or pop.
It's soda, by the way, Lindsay.
Oh, no, it's pop, but we'll go with soda.
All right.
Thanks, Tegan. Yes, we have moved to the warehouse of Pepsi on North 12th Street. We're going to learn a little bit more about the distributing that they do here. It's all part of Manufacturing Week, and that's coming up next.
All right, you too. Now it is out to Lindsay Boach, who is at Pepsi this morning. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey guys, I've only heard of Elf on the Shelf because of the show The League. It's a show about a fantasy football league, but one of the couples has an Elf on the Shelf that they use, and I saw one at an airport once, so that's my extent of Elf on the Shelf. I don't have one because it's just me and my dog, and it would probably get eaten by my dog, so that's it for Elf on the Shelf. But yes, we are here at Pepsi this morning, kicking off Manufacturing Week. A lot of people work in manufacturing here throughout the area, so we want to give you an inside look as to what goes on in these plants. And we're in the warehouse here at Pepsi. I'm joined by Randy Boyer. What goes on in this huge facility?
Well, in this facility, we're a warehouse, and basically this is the distribution point for all your Pepsi products and Dr. Pepper family.
And there's a lot of them stored in here, but we have some carts behind us too that are used. How do the carts work? How does that help in loading things?
Well, a couple of years ago we changed over to the cart delivery system. Several reasons why. One was to make it a little bit easier on our drivers in the delivery process, a little bit better for their backs. But then also it groups it up to where all of the products going into that store or that account is all on one cart.
Now, kind of explain the process of, I guess, a life of a bottle of Pepsi. If it comes from Westpac, it comes to here. What kind of goes on?
Basically, Westpac produces the product. At that point, it's transported to our facility or our facility in Macomb, and then we actually put it on the shelves here, and then it's reloaded onto the carts to be distributed into the 10 counties that we cover.
And now, where are those 10 counties?
Well, actually, there's 6 counties in Illinois and 4 counties in Missouri.
And you don't do just drinks. You have more products than just the Pepsi, the Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, it's water, teas, Gatorade, and then now the new Smoky Bones. And then we also have the Harvest Ridge and roasted bean coffee.
Now it's about 6:30, and I've seen some people kind of coming in and getting ready to start their day. How early do people start here?
It varies by day. Sometimes they have to start a little bit earlier. There again, we're covering quite a few counties, so they might want to leave a little bit earlier. It depends on the route or the deliveries they have in that day. But usually right around 4 o'clock, and then we'll actually be here until 4:30.
All right, so they start their day early as well, and this is pretty cool. I've never been inside a warehouse like this. Is there more?
Yeah, it actually goes in. This building doesn't look this big from the street, but it actually goes on and on.
All right. Well, we'll maybe see if we can get in. I saw some forklifts moving around in there. Thank you very much for giving us a little tour. We have much more to come today and some more coming up later on this week. Today is just day 1 of Manufacturing Week.
I hope you just see the forklifts going. I hope you don't try to drive one.
Oh, I don't think I would be allowed to do that, and I think things would end up very badly if I tried.
Yes, a word you need to know, OSHA, would stop you from that. We have a population of about 40,000 people in Quincy. It is the largest city in a 100-mile radius.
And it's also the commercial hub for about 600,000 people in western Illinois, northeast Missouri, and southeast Iowa.
This week we're learning about 5 of these places in town that so many people work. Lindsay Boach joins us now to kick off Manufacturing Week. She is at Pepsi, Refreshment Services Pepsi this morning. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, and some of those workers are starting to get their products that they need to put on their trucks to help distribute them all across 10 different counties in Illinois and in Missouri. Randy Boyer joins me now. He's marketing manager here at Pepsi. What goes on here at this huge facility?
Well, in this warehouse, we're actually loading and distribution in the 10 counties that you mentioned in Illinois and Missouri.
And you guys don't do any bottling here?
No, the production is actually at Westpac, which is in Quincy. They have other facilities, but all of our products do come right here out of Quincy.
But that's not always the case. Back in the 90s, you guys used to do it here. What kind of changed there?
Actually, back from 1927 up to 1995, we actually were a production facility.
And the reason that changed?
Well, actually just by virtue of the products expanding the line. We carry over 600 brands and packages now. The Westpac is a co-op, and it just made more sense for that to be their production and us distribution.
And now there are a lot of people who work here. What are some of the impacts on the economy that Pepsi has?
Well, right in this facility, we have over 125 employees, full and part-time. It's everything from management right down to merchandising in the stores.
All right, and thank you very much for having us out here today. We have plenty more to come this week. We're not just stopping at Pepsi, we're going to other manufacturing places because it's manufacturing week. So we're going to hit up 4 more places this week. We hope that you watch them because they're going to be very interesting, giving you guys an inside look as to what goes on in these huge plants that you might drive by every day.
Very cool. It's nice to get a sneak peek into some of these plants we drive by every day.
Uh-huh.
All right.